Why Not? A queer podcast.
Thank you to our sponsor, Pineapple Healthcare, an award-winning primary care clinic right here in Orlando.
Pineapple Healthcare offers mental health counseling, HIV, STI testing and treatment, and specializes in care for the LGBTQ plus community.
Open Monday through Saturday. Call today at 407-553-6336 and schedule your appointment.
Pineapple Healthcare. Better together.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Todd.
And I'm Jeremy Williams, and you're listening to Wine,
Why Not? A queer podcast.
episode 137.
137. We did like a little graphic. Psh, psh, psh.
No fireworks.
You know, I'll tell you this real
You
fast
did
before we jump into stuff. I was at a couple of conferences over the last week, and people were talking a lot about podcasts. And then they're like, every single one of them that was talking about podcasts were talking about what a pain in the ass it is to edit them. And I just laughed because I'm like, who edits their podcast? Not us.
No, we don't.
Every once in a while, we edited it when yours cut out the other week, and we did a fine job at that, right, Caitlin? Incredible. It was almost seamless.
Nice.
Hells no,
you can all add that talent to your resume now.
Oh yeah. Wait, why? Who has a resume? I don't know what's happening. We were discussing this before.
My hair. Sorry, my
Look,
hair
this
is
is
flat.
Let's just spend a minute to talk about how disappointed we are in the way that we look. I feel like I'm in that in between weight. You know, like where I gained a few pounds and now it's sort of like it's like if I lose a few, I'll be fine, or if I gain a few more, I'll be fine. But I just feel like it's in this weird. But I can't tell if it's the overhead lights or the yellow of the room or what it is. It's just. Ugh, and I don't know what's going on with my hair. Would you believe if I told you my hair was long enough that it comes down to here? Comes out of my eyes?
No, it doesn't look like that.
Now watch it not do it. There we go. See?
You have two hairs that come down.
No, all these right here. It all does. That's just what I grabbed. Anyway, I got to get my hair cut. I'm trying to grow it out. I just don't know what to do with it. So I just grow it out and then it just curls up and that's all it is.
Yep. The conundrum of all the gay men. What to do with your hair.
Well,
I just let it do whatever. Who cares? It's just very flat today. Usually it's more poofy than that.
Is it the weather? Is it the New York weather?
I got a new conditioner, shampoo and conditioner.
Oh.
And so apparently it doesn't give me the little bounce that my other one did. I'd have to go back.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
I don't think it is. I think is it the L'Oreal, I think maybe. I don't know. I could run and look, but I don't want to.
Go ahead. We'll just pause for a minute.
No, I don't want to go all the way over there. It's all over there.
Oh, you know the other thing? I don't know that it's their editing, but they also do this whole like setup. Like they're really concerned about what I try to say this without laughing and I can't. But they're all very concerned about what their backgrounds are and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like,
oh really?
Yeah. Okay, here we are. Just two schlubs with a camera and a Caitlin. That's all you need. Next time somebody asks me what you need, you need a camera and a Caitlin. Anyway, so 137.
137.
Here we are. You judging by your enthusiasm of the number 137, I just can't wait to hear what you've pulled together.
We're in this rut of like nothing impressive is in
this
know. Number realm.
Do you think it'll start happening with 140s? Because the 130s suck.
I don't know. Well, some of
I came up with a different game though. I came up with a different game. So,
but I'll run through these real quick. Some of them are interesting. Like 137 is like a big deal in like astrology and the world of science. There are like a ton of websites and books that discuss the significance of number 137.
There's some
like
sort
in
of
nature and universe and all
right,
that.
and there's some physics thing behind it too, and there's like this whole philosophy of life that involves it. It was so complicated after I read two sentences. I was like, I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
listen,
In
y'all,
fact,
look it up. It's
here's-
if you care.
I didn't want to go completely into it, but I got a reading assignment for anybody listening who is really interested in why 137 is the meaning of the universe. But Carl Jung, who is Carl Jung, he's a famous. You don't know who Carl Jung is, Caitlin? She did. No, you can't hear her. She did like with her hands like a what?
Maybe she's confused. It looks like it would be Carl Jung, but it's
Yes,
Carl Jung.
But it's Carl Jung. Hey, I didn't mispronounce that one. So Carl Jung and the Nobel-winning physicist Wolfgang Pauli, both of them were scientists who had a lifelong fascination with the number 137. And in fact, during their lives, they had an ongoing correspondence discussing it. And that correspondence was put together in a book by Arthur I. Miller called 137, Jung, Pauli, and the Pursuit of a Scientific Obsession. It is available in paperback on Amazon for $22. If you are interested in why the meaning of life is told to you by the number 137, pick it up. Check it out.
Let's have
But
Caitlin
you're right,
read it.
It's very complicated and convoluted, and I'm like, I don't have time on this podcast to discuss 137.
Here's the challenge, Caitlin. You can be on the next podcast for 2 minutes to tell us what that book means. Like, yeah, you'll come out of your little box on the corner of our screen and into the bigger box of the whole community.
The only other ones I have are religious based.
L'chaim.
The Bible, 137 is the age that Ishmael, Levi, and Amram died. They're all different various characters in the Bible. They all live to be 137.
I find it very interesting that people refer to people in the Bible as characters.
I mean
I get it.
It's a book.
But it's a book.
Characters from the book. I know a bunch of people in my life who probably don't refer to them as characters, but I do. The only other one I have that is not Pokemon related, but I guess that is also kind of a religion, is the Jewish mystical religion, Kabbalah. That's the thing that Madonna was into in the 90s. 137 is the gematria or the numerical value assigned to the word Kabbalah, which means to receive wisdom. And I have a reading assignment for those who want to learn more about that. If you go rent the movie Pi, which is a 1998 Darren Aronofsky film, it's his first big hit film. There's a Kabbalist in the movie that explains why 137 is so significant in the Jewish faith. So I'm sure that's streaming somewhere. So go look up Pi.
Hey. So, listen to Wine, Why Not, a queer podcast and homework distribution center.
Yes. I have films and books for everyone to learn. The
Let's
last
have
one
it.
I have,
Let's finish it.
Yeah. Pokemon 137, Porygon. Am I saying that right, Caitlin? Porygon. There, she even brought the card in.
Porygon. Oh, my God.
Porygon is an
no
artificial
wonder
Pokemon.
when we said we're gonna start talking, about the number, she started getting all giddy. I was like, she's just excited to hear about Pokemon. No, she was excited to show that she brought her little Toucan Sam.
That's actually
Porygon.
An artificial Pokemon.
Doesn't it look like a Tesla truck and Toucan Sam had a baby?
It's very 8-bit looking, but so is a Tesla truck.
So
the
there it
Porygon, since it does not breathe, players like to use the Porygon due to its potential to be useful in any environment. Now, I found this interesting because my knowledge of Pokemon is you collect your Pokemon and then they fight with each other. But it's according to Pokemon.com, the Porygon's weakness is fighting. So not a very good Pokemon, is it?
Jeez.
I mean, you have one thing to do, Porygon, and you don't even do that.
What's happening? Pokemon, like children and dogs. You know, you get two, and then they just fight.
That's what they do. That you fight them.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Caitlin.
Oh,
shaking her
Caitlin is
head.
Caitlin's
what?
Fighting type Pokemon, which is its own type.
Oh, I'm being informed that fighting is a type of Pokemon, and its weakness is this particular type of Pokemon.
All right.
Good to know. All right. So
Well, there
those are
you
my
go.
137 knowledge, which Caitlin has her own 137 knowledge. Thank you, Caitlin.
137 episodes in, and this is what we have to offer.
Yeah.
This is it. All right. I got a couple of things. None of them very good.
I
No,
was gonna
this
say,
one,
I bet they're riveting.
yeah, riveting. The Mermaid Magic Balloon Arch Kit. You know that,
Yeah.
and this is for Ryan. This is
Sure.
why I'm talking
Yeah.
about the Mermaid Magic Balloon Arch Kit. Includes 137 balloons and decorations.
All right.
Yeah. Then I put down the 137th episode of Friends, which you already know because you said it last time.
Oh, is it it's the running one?
No. Last one was the one with
part
Rachel's
two to the
sister. Yeah.
It's part 2 of the sister.
Part 2
yeah.
of the sister. All right. 137th greatest film ever made. Would you like it in English or French? Because you're not going to guess it. It's by Renoir. We did him before. Wow.
Oh, no.
Let me rephrase that. We talked about a movie of his before. The Grand Illusion.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Or as some would say, La Grande Illusion. How do we
There
say
you
that?
go.
137th greatest director of all time. He's an Iranian director. Abbas Kiarostami. Sure. So anyway,
Yes.
as boring as those were, I decided to just find a different list.
Sure.
And just say, can you name the top 10? This is according to this website, right? So this is this guy's, the same website we've been doing this whole thing on. He's got a list of the greatest actors, right? So I thought, let's see if Jeremy can guess the top 10, or what do you want me to? You want me to give you like number 10, number 8 through 10, and then you come up with as many as you can for the rest?
No, I mean, is it actors as in male, or actors just in general, those who are in the acting profession?
Well, I'm going to guess that this is male, unless this person thinks the only great actors of our time are all men.
Okay, so everyone in the top 10 is male.
Everyone in the top 10 is male. And then I put a couple of surprising things later down the list.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I will start off and throw out Marlon Brando's probably on the list.
Marlon Brando, number 3.
Yeah. Paul Newman.
Not in the top 10.
Ooh, not in the top 10. Robert De Niro.
Number 1.
Oh, all right. Way to go, Bobby. I don't know if you knew, but his friends call him Bobby.
Is it because you're a New Yorker now? You get to call him Bobby?
Yes. I was
just
down
down
in
in
Tribecca
Tribecca with
having
Bobby.
coffee
Oh.
with him.
We both just said the same thing.
Let's see. Great actors. Daniel Day-Lewis. It's got to be on the list.
Number 7. You're doing
7.
good. I'm very impressed.
He should be up higher than 7. Because I don't know who this guy is who made the list, but if he's into mainstream, let's say throw out Tom Cruise. Is Tom Cruise on the list?
Tom Cruise is on the list, but he's not in the top 10.
Okay. Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt is on the list, not in the top 10.
Not in the top 10. Okay.
And it surprised me where he was in the list compared to other people.
Let's go old. There's some old actors.
There's some old actors.
All right, let's go. Cary Grant.
Cary Grant, number 9.
All right. Jimmy Stewart.
Number 2.
Yeah. Tom Hanks. I was gonna say Jimmy Stewart. Tom Hanks is like the Jimmy Stewart of our time. No, Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is like number 60 or something like that. He's way down there. And what's surprising is that Brad Pitt is ahead of Tom Hanks in this list.
No, I already think this man who made this list is stupid. It's a stupid man and a stupid list. Tom Hanks is one of our greatest actors ever.
I'm gonna give you've got the top 3 already, right? De Niro, Jimmy Stewart, Marlon Brando. Number 4, I'm just gonna give you because I don't know that you're gonna come up with this name. Toshiro Mifune.
Oh no,
no idea who that is. So then, number 5, number 6, number 8, and number 10. Very famous names.
Like current or classic Hollywood?
One classic, and 2 of them are classic. One's super classic, and then two of them are older but current.
Okay. Leonardo DiCaprio. People love throwing Leo out there.
Oh, he's not old. The rest of these people are older.
Leo's in his 40s. That's
Leonardo
old.
DiCaprio is on the list, but he's also not anywhere near the top 50.
You know, I don't know if he's going to be on there, but he should. I watched 2 of his movies this past week. Jack Lemmon.
Not on this. Not on this. He's probably in the top 100, but
He's fantastic. I saw a movie called The Prisoner of 22nd Street, I think it's called. And it's about a guy who loses his job in New York City and is trying to find work, but slowly losing his mind. And his wife, she has a job and she comes home from her work and constantly says, "It's okay, you'll find a job." And he finally loses it. And he's like, "Shut up. I'll just be your little lady at home and make you dinner and do your laundry." I identified greatly with that movie. I know this is off subject.
Are you sure that you've seen this movie, or is this just what we're about to see when Chris wakes up to go to the bathroom?
I just identified with this movie so much. But she comes home from work and she's like, "So what did you do today?" And he goes, "Well, I pulled the chicken out of the freezer and I put it in the refrigerator. And then I went for a long walk in Central Park." And I was like, those are 2 things I do all the time.
All right, number 5.
Number 5.
Think like the greatest gangster movie of all time.
Okay, well, I said Marlon Brando. Joe Pesci? Is Joe Pesci on the list?
Joe Pesci's on the list, but not in the top 10.
Okay. So you say gangster, you mean Godfather?
Yeah, 100%.
Michael Caine?
No,
Michael Caine's not in.
no.
Oh, what is his name?
He plays Michael. I think his name is Michael. In
Oh,
the show.
Al Pacino.
Yeah, number 5.
Duh.
Number 6. Like probably one of the greatest actors. I would think one of the greatest actors of all time. He was in a Scorsese gangster movie, one of the more recent ones. Let me think of obscure things. Terms of Endearment.
Jack Nicholson?
Yes. Terms of Endearment is a great fucking movie, by the way.
Did you say recent Scorsese movie? That was 20 years ago, kid.
No, Departed.
That was in 2006. That was 20 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
20
years ago was 1980. Don't you gaslight me.
That movie is 1 year away from legally being able to be called a classic.
I mean, as far as Scorsese goes, does he have a lot of movies out recently, or is that
he makes one like every 2 years?
Oh, okay. What do I know? All right, now this other one is he's a classic actor, black and white.
Okay. You know who's one of the old ones I haven't said yet? Humphrey Bogart.
That's
Is he
him.
on there?
Number
That's
8.
him, yeah.
And then finally, this is classic. Goes back to the talkies.
The Turn of the Talkie.
Actually wrote the lyrics to one of my favorite songs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Judy Garland sings it live, and it's great. It's actually a song too that the telethon guy used to sing at the end of every. Jerry Lewis used to sing this song at the end of every Labor Day telethon.
Send in the Clowns?
Smile.
Oh.
Do you know who wrote that?
No, I don't know who
it's
wrote
this
that.
actor who. They made a movie about him. Robert Downey Jr. played him. I think he was nominated for an
Charlie
Oscar.
Chaplin.
Yep.
Charlie Chaplin wrote Smile?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Love that song.
So
all right, so
talented.
here's the things that surprised me. Kevin Spacey's on the list. Okay.
I mean, taking away what a horrible person he is, I mean, he's won 2 Oscars. He's won a bunch of Emmys. He's a really talented actor, but I mean,
yeah,
he has a history of pretending to be someone he's not.
Right.
So,
but if you're yeah, right. I mean, if you're gonna compile a list of the greatest actors of all time, and you think Kevin Spacey is probably one of the, I mean, come on, Usual Suspects, is probably one of the best acted roles I've ever seen. He's number 97 on this list.
Oh,
so guess
at
who
least he made the list.
Okay, and number 100, I believe, is Ewan McGregor. Okay. So guess who number 99 is? Shocked me.
I'm Vin Diesel. I'm gonna be so annoyed. I can tell.
I mean, it's not as bad as that, but it's
Hulk
also
Hogan.
Timothy.
Have you ever seen Timothy Chalamet? Okay, listen.
That's what I'm saying. Look, I mean, I think he's a good actor.
He's a good actor. Here's
but
the
you're
thing,
thinking
though,
the
and
greatest ever.
I might even put him in the top 100. But here's my problem with Timothy Chalamet. I was perfectly fine with him until he won the SAG award this past award season, and his speech. He got up there and talked about how his goal in life is to be the greatest actor in the world, which is fine. But his entire speech was just smug. And he's like, I look at this more like a sport, and I want to be the Michael Jordan of my sport. And that's why these awards mean something to me. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Be one of those humble liars who say, I do it for the work. These awards don't mean anything. I don't give a shit. Also, during the award season, all of his, because he's young, so he's got a social media footprint. His Timmy Tim persona with all of his stupid little TikTok-y Vine videos, like, shut the fuck up, dude. Just act. I don't want to hear your mouth.
I don't know anything about that. He's pretty. That's all I know.
Ugh.
He's you know what? That's another strike.
He's
don't
a
you think?
little
He's dating
too-
a Jenner.
Oh, that's also, there's a list of things that really, I mean, anyone who dates a Jenner, you automatically put a bad taste in my mouth.
I guess, they got a brand and they do it well and they make a bunch of money on it. But like, I don't know. I just wouldn't want to do it that way. It's just not for me. But for you, good.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah. Also, and I know that, like with the attractive thing, he's just, I don't know. He's very feminine. He's very dainty.
Have we met?
Like, I feel like I would break him if I hugged him.
That's a dainty young man.
Ugh.
Wait till we get into the movie later.
Give me a solid guy. Give me
I want a man.
Not necessarily The Rock, but someone. Who was that guy? Aaron Taylor something. He was just last year. He was in that terrible Marvel movie, Craven. The movie is awful, but he's fine as hell. Give me that guy.
No idea who that is.
Oh, Google him from Craven.
What's
him.
his name? I'll just say guy from Craven.
Yeah, from Craven.
Aaron Rodgers. No, Aaron.
No, not Aaron Rodgers.
No. Aaron Craven. Aaron Craven,
Taylor.
actor.
Aaron Taylor something?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. I might need to watch that movie.
It's
how many abs
terrible...
is that? 1, 2, 3,
It's 38.
4, 5,
he
6,
has 38
7.
abs.
Wow.
It's a terrible movie, but he is so pretty to look at. He was also Quicksilver in the MCU movies. Well, movie. He only got one. He was also in Godzilla. He's very pretty. Hey, that's what I want, a man. I don't want a dainty little boy man.
I went to the grocery store yesterday with Jen, and she had to get like some sort of. Let's see if you get this thing, the reference that the meat slicer gave to us. He commented on my Stitch shorts and said that he liked them, but I think he was really enjoying the shirt I was wearing, which was one of the Gay Days Disney shirts, one of their gay merchandise shirts. So anyway, she ordered a pound of meat, and it came out 1.14 pounds. And he goes, "Oh, that's a really good number." And then we were like, "Okay." And he's like, "Oh, you don't get that reference? Do you?"
1.14?
Yeah.
Now we haven't done we haven't done 114 in 30 episodes.
What if we said 00114? Would that mean anything to you?
00114? No.
Or anyway, he was like, "Oh, that's Master Chief's call number," or something like that. And I was like,
I don't play Halo.
So I said, "Hey, I didn't know that, but at least I get the reference." And he's like, "Well, at least you get that." I looked at Jen. I said, "Yeah, it's DC Comics. You wouldn't get it." And he was like, "No." And I started laughing. And she's like, "Don't be offended. He does it to everybody."
No, that is all wrong. You know what I have been seeing everywhere that apparently is some stupid shit that kids are doing, and I don't get it. Speaking of numbers, 6, 7. And you're supposed to do this. move your hands up and down. 6, 7. I don't know
What
what it
does
is.
that mean,
I have no idea.
Caitlin? You're the youngest person here.
We'll use Google.
6, 7. I don't know. It looks
But,
like I don't know.
You're bouncing some jugs. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like your juggle. Oh, is that where juggling comes from? It's
Oh,
juggling.
maybe. I think that's where jugs comes from. I think juggling was probably around before jugs, or at least the word. I think jugs were around.
Is that
longer
like
before.
one is heavier than the other, so it's 6, 7?
I
Caitlin's
have no
on it.
idea.
Caitlin's on
she's
it.
gonna
She'll
look
let
it
us
up.
know. While she's
but,
doing that, you want to go into your week? I know you're excited
yeah.
to tell us.
Okay, so I had a pretty interesting week. It was a lot of fun. First thing is I got my New York City library card, which
exciting.
opens up the doors to many, many museums in town. There's like 30 museums. If you have a library card, you get in for free.
Oh, wow.
So the other day I decided to do a free museum day, and I went to the Guggenheim, and I went to
That's
the
a fun
Met.
one.
That is quite, it's quite a trek.
It's a lot of exercise.
Yeah, because
Because
it's
you
just
walk
one
around
big
and
spiral that walks up. But it just kind of like some weird art stuff. There was like some modern art thing where this guy had an exhibit, and it was like part like trash that was put together into exhibits, and then like television screens showing different parts of his life. Like there's one video of him eating breakfast with his kid and his wife. And then there's another one where he's applying lotion to his arms. It's just really weird. It's like modern art shit. But you're right. I got quite a workout walking up the big spiral. And then halfway up the spiral, they have a little like a little coffee shop. So I stopped and had a cup of coffee, and they had pumpkin spice cheesecake cookies, and they heat them up. Ugh. Best cookie I've ever had in my life. It was delicious. It was a big old giant cheesecake pumpkin cookie.
Ooh, that sounds
So
delicious.
I'm sitting in the little cafe having my coffee and eating my cookie, and this old couple sits down next to me. They must have been in their 70s or 80s, and they've got a kid with them who's like in his late teens, early 20s. And I was like, oh, that's got to be their grandkid. And then he called them grandma and grandpa, and I was like, oh yeah, those are your grandparents. And the grandfather spoke the entire time. I sat there for maybe 30 minutes eating my cookie and drinking my coffee, and the entire time, except for the last 5 minutes before I got up, he talked about getting fruits and vegetables in New York compared to getting fruits and vegetables in Florida, which is, I don't know if the kid is from Florida or they're from Florida and everything, but somebody's from Florida. And he went on this tangent about how New York City gets their fruits and vegetables from South America, where they pick them at the right moment of ripeness, and that Florida picks their fruits and vegetables. They wait too long to pick them, and that's why they're so terrible. But this man went on, and I looked over, and his grandson was just kind of glassed over, and I wanted to be like, dude, he does not give a fuck. He doesn't care about what you're talking about. Neither do we. Why are you rambling on for 30 minutes about fruits and vegetables? Exactly. So he went on, and as I was finishing my cookie, they switched over to talking about building credit. And then this kid lit right up and was talking about different interest rates. And I was like, this kid has some weird interests, and it's not fruit and vegetables. It's credit. But they went on right before I left. They got on a tangent of the Amazon credit card and how you get 5% back on all Amazon purchases. And I looked over at them and I was like, because you get your Prime shipping, if you do it like they call it energy saving or efficient saving shipping, where they ship if you wait a day and they ship everything together. I was like, you get 6% on that. I felt like I was in like a Visa commercial or some shit, because I have the Amazon credit card and I always deferred the shipping so I can get that extra 1%. And it builds up.
Did you tell them this?
Yes, because they were talking about the Amazon gift for the credit card.
Were they receptive?
They were very friendly.
Okay.
But it was when I just finished my cookie and I got up and I was like, yeah, it's 5%, but it's 6% if you delay the shipping by a day. And they're like, oh, that's good information. And I was like, you're welcome. And then he said, do you have fruits and vegetables shipped? And then I left. I was like, I'm out of here.
Fruits in Florida suck.
That's why I left. I sat down with Chris and we weighed it. And I said, listen, Chris, the fruits and vegetables here just aren't ripe enough. We need to go somewhere where they get them from South America.
See, I totally teed you up for some sort of gay joke, and it
No.
didn't happen.
I'm not homophobic.
Well, we're not all perfect.
So then I left the Guggenheim and I walked to the Met, which I'm sure you've been to the Met before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge.
They make me call it the Metropolitan Museum of Art now, but because I'm not I'm not a New Yorker anymore.
I'm pretty sure even people in New York call it the Met.
Is that why they call the sports team, the Mets? Is it all the museums together?
No.
Or is
No.
the Mets short for the Metropolitans? Because
No.
that would be like the gayest team name ever. Don't you think?
No, you're getting into baseball talk. I don't know baseball.
Oh, that'd be Cosmopolitans. If you were like the New York Cosmos. That's when Carrie Bradshaw buys the Mets.
Ugh. God, I am so glad that show was off the air again. So anyway, I went to the Met, and there is a shit ton of naked statues there, which was kind of cool.
Do they have signs that say, please don't touch the statues?
They do, but I don't think it's for that. It might be because of that. So I took a bunch of pictures, and I have this idea for a photo wall above my couch. Because right now I have a Superman poster and a Batman poster, and Chris doesn't like them. So I took a bunch of photos of the nude statues, and then I got close-ups of their junk. And I want to do pictures of the naked statue with close-up of their junk in like a photo collage on the wall. Chris doesn't like that idea, but I think it would look real classy.
I think it's a must.
I know, right?
And I think you should put them on the door behind you so that we get to see them.
I'll angle the desk because it'll be that wall right there.
You know what you should do is you should get like sort of like a life-size thing of it and put it on rollers, and that way when he gets up and has to use the restroom, he can just stand behind it and roll it across, and then we won't see him. We'll just see penis go across.
There you go. I'll get to work on that.
I like it.
But yeah, so that was a fun day. Did a bunch of museum stuff. And then this past Friday, Chris and I went to 54 Below, which I don't know if you've ever been to 54 Below, but it's a really cute cabaret club. And just a really, really cute place. It's under where Studio 54 used to be.
You said underwear.
I did. But
that's where isn't that where Gene Smart's show was?
That theater, yeah, it's now a theater. But yeah, that's where Gene Smart's one woman show is going on right now.
That was so good.
But we went to 54 Below, and I don't know. The signs were when we went on Friday, all the signage is still up.
Okay.
But it should be. I imagine it would probably be closing soon.
It is.
So we went and saw Paloma Diamond. For those who don't know who Paloma Diamond is, Julian Sewell is this performer, has a TikTok channel, and he's created this character, Paloma Diamond, who always pops up on TikTok around the Oscar season, awards show season. And Paloma Diamond is a 20-time Oscar-nominated actress, never won. Nominated for 20 Academy Awards, never won one. And she has this whole lore. If you ever have a chance, go online, look her up. She has like beefs with other actresses. Her third husband had an affair with this guy. And as all great actresses of the past, she was married to a gay man in the closet. But just this whole lore of this fabulous, amazing actress. But what you may not know is that Paloma Diamond isn't only one of our greatest living actresses. She also was the toast of Broadway for many, many years and made her return to New York and did her cabaret show. And I will say, unironically, the guy who plays Paloma Diamond, amazing voice. I mean, he came out and he was belting stuff out like from Cabaret, from Moulin Rouge, just like these Broadway hits. And it was just such a good show. It was really, really fun.
Has this person ever performed at the Orlando Fringe Festival?
No.
Because it sounds like there's a guy who did a show at the Fringe Festival that was like a cabaret. Oh, you know who he was? This is totally different. Never mind. He was the persona of the woman who played the witch in The Wizard of Oz, and did this whole show about her. Hilarious. Sort of this whole wicked take kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
But no, it was such a good show. He's so talented. And if you do go back and look at some of his work, or her, Paloma's work on TikTok, she has a video of, because the way that this kind of got started, where Paloma plays, or the Julian plays all of the characters in these videos, and it's the guy reading the nominees for Best Actress, and then they cut to the actress and he's in 5 different looks, and then they cut to the clip from the film that they're nominated for. So he posted up a clip from one of Paloma's films called The Bakersfield House, with this like dramatic monologue, and he did it on stage, and I was mouthing along with it because I know the whole monologue by heart. No, I'm not going to do it for you right now. And it was fabulous. It was absolutely amazing. So I almost cried. It was so dramatic and so good. One of the best actresses of our time, and I loved it. We got to meet her afterwards, and I got photos with her. It was amazing.
Exciting. You should send some to Kay, and we'll post online.
I will. But during the little cabaret show, Chris and I polished off a bottle of wine, and then I had a couple of espresso martinis. And then after the show, we went to what's it called? I wrote it down. McGee's Pub, which is the Irish pub that McLaren's from How I Met Your Mother is based off of. So we went there, and they got like pictures on the wall, and they have drinks named after various characters and situations from the show. So I had a few more drinks there. And while we were drinking, there was a couple that came in and sat at the bar, and they were on their first date. They told the bartender, "We're on our first date." And I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." And
Tell
then
me the bartender said, "I don't give a shit. What do you want?"
Oh, no, the bartender was very sweet. But so we were eavesdropping on their conversation. And if they're listeners, you all were very adorable. However, the guy in you talked way too much. You did not give her a chance to talk. And the number of times you said fuck and shit in the conversation, my mother would have cringed. You were just cursing up a storm. And I don't know if she's into that or she knew that you had a potty mouth. But I have never seen first date behavior like that. And I wanted to lean over and be like, "Dude, play it cool." But he wasn't.
He said fuck, and she's like, "Ooh, Mufasa,
like,
say it again."
But aside from that, they were a very cute couple. They had a couple of drinks, and then they left to go wherever they were going after that. But it was a very lovely evening.
Is this a thing that New Yorkers do? Because there's a lot of eavesdropping going on in your week.
Oh,
is this a thing that New Yorkers do? They sit around and listen to each other?
It's what I do. It's until I get a job, it's my favorite thing to do is just go get a drink somewhere just listen to people's conversations.
Here's your TikTok. You record live eavesdropping on people, and then you comment on it. Like, after, like, you could have a TikTok channel where you're like, "Dude, you were saying fucking shit too much," and let the lady speak every now and then.
Yeah,
and then rate them 1 to 10. Boom.
I don't want to be TikTok famous.
Well, then but just think, if you are, then that's your job, and you make a lot of money on it.
I know. That just seems like a lot of work. I have no respect for people who are influencers as jobs, and I could not imagine myself being like, what do they say? You live long enough to become, you're a hero long enough and to become a villain or some shit like that. I don't want to step down into the belly of that beast. I can't stand influencers. They get on my nerves. There's this one guy on TikTok that I follow, and he mocks influencers, and he's just like laid back in his chair, and he's like, "Come with me as we blah, blah, blah." And he just mocks them. And he's reached the point now, he has so many followers, he has now become that which he mocks.
I was going to say, if you have a TikTok channel, you're an influencer. It's just whether you get paid or not. Right. You have an audience, you're an influencer. So it's whether you get paid or not. Like, you would argue that we're influencers of the limited amount of people who, well, we talk about, we're like, "This is how many grapes I give this movie," or "This is what Ryan said today," so, That was my voice of
I would say
us
you have
doing
to have
Ryan.
you have to have an audience of a certain amount to be influencing anything. And unless I haven't seen the numbers lately, unless there's been a spike, I don't think we're dialing in those kind of numbers.
Hey, I was just all over the country promoting us, so you never know.
Well, I was in a bar telling people about our podcast. Come with me while I eavesdrop and tell people we do a podcast.
You know, I'm not the only one. Everybody who does a podcast, like, they're always like, "Oh, well, I have a podcast, so I do
Yeah.
it too. Why not?"
Everybody does.
But you know,
Everybody
some
does.
people's get applauded when I say that ours is like real lowbrow silliness about queer, and they're like, "Oh." I'm like, you know, it's just because of this. Like, here's the thing I learned, because I sat on a panel this week, which I'll talk about. But like, there are two kinds of newspaper people, right? There's the activist, right? That's usually the journalist. That's usually the people, even like publishers or whatever, who started their papers. They come at it from this activist, you know, movement kind of a thing. I'm really approach it from like a business standpoint, where I'm like, it has to be financially sustainable. And so, you know, where I'm saying things like, yeah, what you got to do is you got to, like, we hope to capture people by doing podcasts, by promoting, we try to capture a bigger audience. And then you sell branded content to that audience and you make money. They're all about like, well, you have to reach the audience so the news gets out there. And I was like, you got to build your audience so you can sell it, you know, and everybody thinks I'm weird for saying that, but you know, it's okay. That's how I feel.
That's why I've always found the whole merging of like publisher editor positions odd, because they're almost at odds with each other. Like the publisher is always, hey, we've got to make money off of this, and the editor is supposed to be, no, we need to get the news out. And there's an overlap there.
Yeah, but somebody can say we got to get the news out to make money doing it. But yeah, it all works. Cool. Did you do anything else that you want to talk about?
Nope, that's my whole week.
Well, let me tell you about mine.
Okay.
Let me tell you about mine. From the minute we turned the camera off the last time until the minute we turned them on, nothing but crap. No, I'm just kidding. So, you know, we had Jen's birthday party,
Let
right?
me fill up my glass.
Yeah. So we had Jen's birthday party. And we did it early. So we did the podcast last week early so I could get it done and get home. And I had to get home by 1 because, you know, we had everybody come over at 1. Now, I think I've told you this, right? I told you that my family's starting to do this thing where I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that Chick-fil-A labeled cup. Sorry, I got distracted by a Chick-fil-A cup that was in my office. That's okay. You do you, girl. So she's like, shit, he called me out on it. It's okay. They have great chicken nuggets. So my whole family's doing this thing like now where we all have like dinners together from time to time, and there's a schedule of who's supposed to bring what and blah, 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 which has made me open my horizons. When we have people over to the house, like, let other people do things and be part of it, and let them. So we said, you know, okay, well, we'll make the taco bar, right, thing. That's what I made. And I was like, and you guys can bring the appetizers and bring them, and we'll have appetizers at 1. And we're like, okay. So I leave here and I rush to get home. I've eaten nothing all day. And I get home, and at 1 o'clock, my sister-in-law messages me, your mom just left. She's going to pick up Jen's mom and come over, and then we'll be over in a little bit. And it's 1 o'clock. They live 30 minutes away from me. And I was like, I said, okay. I'm not saying I love my family to death, but I was starving. And, you know, I don't know if y'all know me, but I get hangry pretty easily. So I just texted back and I said, okay, cool. I'm just going to run out and get something to eat, but I'll be back by the time they get here, I'm sure. And I did. I had to run out and get something to eat because I was starving. You know, so, yeah, for whatever that's worth. And then, like I said, I love them, but these people will be late to their own funeral. Yeah. Just saying. These people, you know, my family, these people.
What do you mean by those people?
I want to say this, though. I mentioned that I had the cookies, right? I got home and I ate one of we call them the cookies Jen likes. It's the rainbow Italian cookies with the chocolate top on them. Oh, you should be sad that you don't work in this office. Did you eat any of them? Because Dylan brought a bunch in, and they are so good. I should have brought some. We still have some, and they're still fresh because they're in they're really good. Anyway, I made that, and then I made that chocolate almond coffee cake or chocolate almond croissant coffee cake. Oh, man, that's some good stuff. That was some good stuff. So that was all cool. And then the next day I flew out to St. Louis for the Lion Publisher Summit. Um, and I thought, God, sometimes I feel like I should have an assistant other than Chat GPT. So I went to, like, I thought I was flying in the morning that the conference started. So I was like, ooh, because it said fly in Monday or something. And I was like, I'm going to fly in Tuesday morning and then just go straight to the conference from there. No, the conference
Yeah.
started at noon on Wednesday. So I flew in ass early on Tuesday. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll work from the hotel room, which I did. And then the conference started the next day. But Tuesday night, I get up, I'm on the 18th floor. It's in St. Louis, 18th floor, great view of the city. And actually a straight on view. I know I'm going to lose you here, Jeremy, but it was a direct view of the St. Louis Cardinals Stadium. And I love baseball. And I had just been to Wrigley Field. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy a ticket to the game because they said there was a game tonight. And I'm going to buy a ticket and I'm going to go watch the Cardinals play. It's going to be really cool. So early in the morning, I go on StubHub. Here we go, StubHub. Don't get nervous. It's not a plug. And I buy a ticket in section 175. Okay, so we're talking like right behind the first base dugout in the lower section. I got a ticket.
Were you the lady who took the ball from the kid? Because I thought she looked familiar.
Wow. Does her hair go all the way down to her eyes?
If she pulls it down.
She has two pieces of hair that come down here, one for each eye. So I buy my ticket, $22, right? Because I went through, it would have been $100 through the MLB app, but I was like, let me see. So StubHub, $22, boom. Really excited to go. Sitting there waiting for my email, and then it gets to like 5 o'clock. The game's at 6:45. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't have my ticket yet. So I'm looking out my window at the stadium, and there's like no activity. Like the whole section of seating I can see, dead. Nobody in it. No one moving around. So I'm like looking around at the streets. No one's walking to or from the stadium. So I'm like, do I have the date wrong? So I keep looking at it, and no, I have the date right. 6 o'clock. Nothing. 6:30. Now all of a sudden I count 4 people in red shirts walking around downtown. Still, no one sitting in that stadium. 6:45. No ticket. Nobody sitting in the stadium. Nobody on the streets. I was like, well, so I contact them and I get a refund for it. But I was kind of annoyed. The game did happen. I know because at one point, fireworks started going off. I guess they won the game and they shoot fireworks from the stadium when they win. So I ran over to my window and you can see the fireworks going off. It was really kind of cool. But the next day at the conference, somebody mentioned to me that it was the lowest attendance on record in that stadium in the history of that stadium. So I didn't get to go. I was really bummed out. But somebody else I know, if I had just gone down there and bought a ticket, that would have been fine. But I'm a ticket snob, so I need to get down and be in the thing. But StubHub give you your money back right away and remind you 18 times that it's not their fault if the person doesn't send the tickets, which I get. It's not their fault. But it was kind of cool.
I'm guessing the Cardinals aren't doing very well.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm just going to throw this out there. Sorry, St. Louis. What is going on? Like, I think the answer is nothing. Nothing. I mean, there were whole streets downtown, like whole blocks with abandoned buildings, and they were graffitied, like all the way from the bottom up 10 floors, every floor, graffiti everywhere. And just there were no restaurants outside of restaurants at the bottom of hotels. There's like no traffic. A Friday night walking around or Thursday night walking around, just dead. Restaurants were empty. I don't know how the people there survived. So anyway, what I didn't get. I'm going to tell you about the grocery store there that I went to. Because, I'm like trying to eat healthy. So I go to the grocery store and I get a bunch of fruit. I doubt the fruit that I got was picked in South America. I probably got it from Florida. But I get there and I've got all this stuff in my hands and I go to the checkout, but I'm on the phone. And so there's like nowhere to set all your stuff and it's self-service, right? There's nowhere to set your stuff. So I set it over by the bags and then I go to start scanning it. And like, it's saying needs assistance. And I'm like, and you just hear this lady from down the hall scream. And this really like nasty voice, like, you have to remove your stuff from the bags. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, no other place that I go through with self-checkout is like that, but she was just yelling at me. And so I'm like, okay. And then she continued to yell at me as things went wrong. But then I went back to this store later because the lottery drawing was coming.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I need to buy some lottery tickets before I leave. And I went to the same store and I went up to the customer service counter. It was a different lady, but I walk up there and I was like, do you sell lottery tickets? And she's like, no. And I was like, okay, do you know where that does? No. And this guy that I was with goes, she was really helpful. And I said, dude, she didn't think it was important enough to put her teeth in to go to work. There's no way she was going to help us.
Mm.
It was a sight. So, yeah. Anyway, I bought lottery tickets. So then, what was that drawing was Saturday night. So Sunday morning, I wake up to the news that somebody in Missouri had a winning ticket. And I got super excited.
I'm guessing since you're on this podcast, you did not win.
You need to look for the signs. I said, I will not tell anyone, but there will be signs. Yeah, and it's a sign I didn't win that I'm here. So yeah, that didn't happen. But anyway, the conference was really good. I give a shout out to my new friend Jeff at Qberg. Hung out with him for a while, and with Leo. Leo's great. We have a good time always. So that was pretty cool. Then I went to Atlanta, right? So I was there for a few days at that Lions Summit. And then I went to Atlanta where the National Gay and Lesbian Journalists Association was having their meeting. You went to that, right? Yeah, we talked about
I went
this.
a few years ago when they were in Philly, yeah.
Well, I'm only in Atlanta for a few hours, right? I land, I'm there for that night. But I was walking around to find a place. Way more going on in Atlanta than in St. Louis. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And I found this really cool restaurant that I ate at. It was super gay. There were gaggles of gays at all the tables, sipping their wines and eating their charcuteries, and even leading up to it, all these gay daddies, not like the ones with twinks, but the kind with babies, pushing strollers, like actual daddies, fathers. And so that was pretty cool. A really great neighborhood to be in, and really cool to be there. And it's great. The next morning is when I spoke on the panel, and that was a panel about the LGBTQ media mapping project that Tracy Baim sort of heads up, and it's part of News is Out, Local Media Association thing. And it's really this great report. I read it's this 50-page glossy magazine about what it's saying, but really what it does is kind of say to everyone, here's the state of LGBTQ media. And it's why it's important and why it should be funded. And so my point and being on the panel was just to talk about Watermark's experience and concerns and worries and why we matter to this community and why we need funding to help us keep doing what we're doing. Really cool panel. I was on the panel with someone who runs an audio. I think the bulk of her work is audio, and she interviews people and talks about what's going on. And it's for Black queer women, and she was hilarious. She was way funnier than me, but she comes from that. She started this, right? And I'm more from the business of when they asked the question. They asked a question how are you navigating the downturn in national advertising and that kind of thing? And she's like, I'm trying to build relationships because you queer people, you got money, give me money. And everybody's laughing and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I'm looking at 5 revenue generation streams that will bring me $20,000 and anyway, it was really funny. We had a great time, though. I'll tell you that there's 2 things I want to tell you about it because it made me laugh. We were somehow AI came into the conversation, and I was like, I don't know if I've had this conversation with you, Jeremy, but I'm in love with what AI can do for me. I can go in. I do so much of my life is on Excel spreadsheets, and for years, decades, I've been doing things taking the long way to get to somewhere. So I decided last week to start asking.
Is this the calendar tech?
Yeah, that
we
kind of
talked
stuff.
about it on the last podcast.
But then I went into it and I was like, hey, and I've done this a couple of times. It's just this is what I want to happen. Write me a formula for it, and it does. And it just did it again today to make life really, really easy for me. And I just love it. So I was talking. So I just said, hey, I for one love AI. It makes my life efficient and takes gives me time back that I can get other things done. And that's really cool. And then I mentioned, because I'm talking to a room of reporters, And I was like, yeah, it's like, and I know some of you may not like it. I was like, my editor doesn't care for it either. And I always say, I'm not telling you to use AI to write stories. I'm telling you to use AI to make your life more efficient. It's wonderful. And then I said something to the effect of, like, and I always say this too. Don't worry, AI isn't going to take your job, but somebody who uses AI will. But the way it came out was so like negative and mean. You could just feel the energy in the room just drop. And some people like clutched their pearls and were like, and I busted out laughing. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I promise you, it didn't come out that mean when I said it to him. I was like, we laughed about it. It was okay. And they all started laughing. And the lady with the podcast next to me, she goes, well, good for you. You read the room. And she was like, good for you, but you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. And I'm like, yeah. So that was kind of funny. But then I said something weird. And I feel like
Weirder.
yeah, it's like if you ever say something to people and then for like the rest of your life, you just think like, oh, I wish I could say something differently then. So I don't know if I'll ever be asked back to be on a panel, but somebody asked the question, like, because social media is like changing all the time and it's getting stricter and harder. And it's like, they're saying, oh, well, you can't say these words or you can't do this. And it's like, and it's just going in a direction of like censorship kind of a thing. And she was like, the question is, how do you navigate that? Like when they flip a switch and start saying you can't do this and this and this, how do you get around that? And there was this really great answer, from the other panelists. But then it got to me and I was like, yeah, I get that. I was like, but also here's a crazy idea. I was like, not all good things come to an end, right? So just like take the housing bubble and how people were making a lot of money in the housing bubble or in the housing industry. And then that bubble burst and everybody lost money. A lot of people got hurt. I was like, for me, I believe this. Social media is in a bubble because it's unregulated, because people can do whatever they want. It's like this huge place that all this stuff happens. I was like, it's going to blow up. Something's going to happen and it's going to blow up. And people, where will people go for trusted news at that point? They'll want to pick up your paper. And I believe that to a degree. I think that anyway, I just think it was weird because most people are like out there saying like, build up your social medias. Everything's in social media. And meet people with that. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to blow up one day and people are going to want your newspapers. But I think what's going to happen is the trustworthiness of what you see on social media. Somebody's going to have to find a way to fix that because, the stats are there to show you that, even 60% of the people putting news out there, influencers who are putting news on social media, 60% don't fact check. So, at some point, people are going to stop trusting that and they're going to need to somewhere else.
The problem is they associate all news on the same level.
Right.
So if it's getting degraded and untrusted on social media, that's going to seep into traditional media. I mean, it already is. And people aren't going to believe anything. And they're going to go into the little bubbles that tell them what they want to hear, that don't give a rat's ass if it's factual or not.
And then somebody's going to pull out a sorting hat and tell us which divergent class we belong into. And there you go. That's your life.
You just merged like 3 different fantasy worlds there.
I know. Gotta love the DC
all
world.
Different.
Gotta love the DC world. So so then I get back and I'm laying on my couch. I get back. My dogs go crazy. That is the greatest feeling in the world. You get a dog and leave for a week and then come home and you're going to feel real special. Like my dogs went crazy and it was great. And I finally relaxed. I lay on the couch. I had like a second where I was like, like for the first time in a week, I get to relax. And then my phone goes off and it's my mom. And she's like, I don't know if anybody told you, but I'm in the hospital. I was like, oh, get up, go to the hospital. Let's go see mom. She's doing all right, though. She's good.
Good.
Anyway, that was my week.
Very nice. Did last thing for the week, last night was the VMAs. Did you watch those?
No. I I have like an old person filter on my phone, and it doesn't let me watch cool young things.
Well, then you absolutely should have heard of the VAs or the VMAs, because everything about the VMAs were geared towards old people over the age of 40. First of all, for the first time ever, they were moved to CBS. That instantly ranges the age who watches
I'm
it.
surprised I'm surprised that the president of CBS didn't call me and say, "Hey,
Yeah, and be like, "Are you
Our
watching?
biggest
VMAs
supporter."
are on CBS this year." But it was hosted by LL Cool J, who, I don't know if you're aware of this, is almost 60. And I remember when we were younger, like when the VMAs were first starting, they were on MTV. They used to get like, hip young comedians or like people of that generation. And 57, 58, however old he is now, LL Cool J walks out, and I'm like, old time rapper on old time network. I was like, can this get
Don't
any
you
more
feel like-
designed to the old people?
I feel
And
like
then
this.
they gave out 3 major awards to Ricky Martin, Busta Rhymes, and Mariah Carey. And I had to pull up my calendar to make sure it wasn't 1999. It was the saddest VMAs. It was like a mixture of all this old people stuff and then all these people, these young kids who I had no idea who they were.
Were they just lifetime achievement awards?
Essentially, they all had various names. Like Ricky Martin got the Latin Music Lifetime Achievement Award, and then Busta Rhymes got the Innovator Award, and then Mariah Carey got the Vanguard Award. All words that mean old.
Yeah. Yeah, I
they-
feel like, after a certain time, your persona, you can't use the name LL Cool J. Like, at some point, you got to be like LLJ.
Yeah.
LL used to be really cool J.
Yeah.
Now,
LL,
I love
get off
LL
my
Cool J.
lawn, Jay.
Yeah, like I really like LL Cool J.
I love him. I
everything
think
that
he's
he
great.
acts in. I love, and Jen would marry him in a heartbeat.
I think he's wonderful. I don't think he was the right choice for the MTV Video Music Awards. Maybe get somebody like I don't know, Timothy Chalamet. What's he up to?
Isn't this where like isn't the Video Music? No, I'm thinking of they do. Is the Video Music Awards where like Britney Spears and Madonna made out?
Yes,
So where was that?
that wasn't there.
Did LL Cool J and Busta Rhymes smack lips?
No. And I
They
don't
didn't bust
I
a
mean,
kiss.
I'm sure that they're LGBTQ friendly. I mean, I always thought Snoop was, but I don't know who is anymore.
Dude,
but-
we talked about that, right? I can't. Oh God. Anyway.
I don't know where they stand as far as kissing dudes for shock value. But yeah, the VMAs is where Kanye West grabbed the microphone from Taylor Swift, and where Madonna danced sultry on a wedding cake, and just where all that crazy music shit's supposed to happen. And it was just so dull and boring.
That's CBS for you
And
now.
It
I mean,
felt
is
like the American Music Awards is what it
Isn't
felt like.
CBS is like it's they're still working on that merger, right? Or has it gone through?
I think it's gone through, but you can tell.
And so they're like, hey, let's we're Trump's broadcasting system, so let's not rock the boat.
all except for South Park. Across
Yeah.
all CBS's platforms, everything has tamed down, and got Trey and Matt over at South Park are like, "Fuck you guys,
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
screw you guys, we're having Trump fuck Satan."
Yeah, no, I
but
didn't watch it. Any surprises? Anything I wouldn't even know? Did
the
Toblerone
only-
win anything?
The only thing that surprised me is that Lady Gaga was there. She won Artist of the Year, and they gave that out as the first award. They usually give that out towards the end, but they
Oh,
gave it
wow.
the first award because the
Here's
VMA
the cool one.
started.
Go home.
No, the VMA started at 8, but so did her concert at Madison Square Garden. So
Ah,
while she was accepting her award, her show started. Her opening act went on, and she accepted her award. And she said, "Okay, I have to get back to my concert. Bye, everybody." And she, right from stage, hopped
Huh.
into her car.
was it at
And-
Radio City?
No, it was at Madison Square Garden.
No, the awards.
Oh, no, it was somewhere in Long Island.
Oh, she had a
Yeah.
trek.
Yeah, I Googled it because I was like, how long is it going to take her? And according to Google, it takes an hour to get where they were in Long Island to Madison Square Garden.
I hear
And
Long
I mean,
Island
it's
is
Lady Gaga.
conservative.
She probably had a police escort. So, I mean, I hear she got there on time, But I was like, girl, you need to hurry.
She took a helicopter and then she skydove into it, and then she was like, "Oh shit, it's a covered stadium," and then she had to like open the hatch and then jump down.
It was very Mission Impossible, I hear.
You can't keep a good Gaga down.
But they did an Ozzy Osbourne died not too long ago, so they did a little tribute to him. Do you know who Young Thug, I think is his name? Young Blood.
Oh, I was like, you're making this shit up. There is not an artist called Young Thug.
Young Blood, but he spells blood Blood. He wasn't ugly to look at. He wasn't unattractive. He's definitely like emo skater boy kind of look, but you know what? Look him up. You might like him.
Let's do this right now.
And then there was this skinny beanpole looking. He looked like the kid
I've
from
seen this
Stranger
guy all over.
Things. He looked like the other one that was on there looked like the kid from Grown Up. The one Finn something from Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
But he performed. You know who Tate McRae is?
I've heard the name.
Okay, she performed. I don't know why. I always thought Tate McRae sung country music. And she came out and sang very not country music. And I was like, why did I always think she sung country music?
Oh, she's very pretty.
But she was more like a Britney Spears, Sabrina Carpenter type, like pop music. But
she sings "You Broke Me" first. Yeah, there's a whole thing. A lot of songs that sort of sound like they come from the same genre, and it's like, that vampire song. That one makes me crazy, by the way. But like,
that's Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah, they all sound the same. They're all the same thing. Like, you asked me to prom, and then you didn't take me, and I'm sad.
Yeah,
you suck.
Not like
You're
that Air Supply.
Blood sucker. Yeah, where like every song is like. I have this friend that used to make fun of Air Supply all the time. It cracks me up because I was like, "Oh, they made this acoustic album," and he's like, "What does that sound like?" I'm all out of love. Bling bling. I'm so. I was in tears laughing at that. I was like, "It is, but it's so good."
Yeah. So VMAs were last night. Very sad compared to what they used to be, but we move.
I mean, I guess they got old.
Yeah,
happens to all of us.
The other thing I did was we watched a movie, and we watched it in the theater. And I want to talk about my experience in the theater before we actually talk about the movie.
Good. I got a story too.
It wasn't bad. First, when I got there, I went to the AMC near Lincoln Center to watch the movie, and apparently also the new Downton Abbey movie opened.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if like a local nursing home decided they were doing a movie day out, but there were so many old fucking people there, and I think they hadn't been to the cinema in centuries because none of them knew how the whole concept of getting a movie ticket and getting into the theater worked. And they had these, how the big popcorn buckets are all the thing.
Yeah.
So
which I don't get. I don't understand popcorn buckets.
The Downton Abbey popcorn bucket is a top hat. And you flip it over and you put popcorn in the top hat. Well, I guess all these old people who came to this outing together, it was part of a group thing. They were all promised the popcorn bucket, but these two ladies did not read the fine print. The popcorn was not included. You had to pay extra. So they were yelling at the people at the counter to put popcorn in their Downton Abbey popcorn top hat. And they're like, "Ma'am, you have to buy popcorn." And she's like, "Why would I get a popcorn bucket without popcorn?" And they're like, "That's just whatever little group you came with. That is what they did. They got all these popcorn buckets to give you as a souvenir, and then you buy your own refreshments." Well, if you're going to give people popcorn buckets, you need to give them popcorn with it. That's just stupid. And I was like,
I can't say I disagree with her.
Well, I was next in line and I was annoyed. So I was like, "Lady, can you argue over there so I can get my damn popcorn in my regular bucket?" Anyway, she was obnoxious and they didn't give her a popcorn, and it made me happy. I think if she'd have been nice to them, they probably would have given her popcorn for free. But she was a nasty old woman with her nasty little top hat.
It's tough on a fixed income.
I'm unemployed and I still didn't argue and just ponied up for the popcorn. Anyway, so then I get into the theater. I have the place was sold out. I don't know if this movie is just like a big deal or if people are just, it's a Sunday matinee I went. So, it's a big movie day. But it's been before COVID that I have sat in a sold out movie theater before. And when I sat, I didn't expect it to sell out. So I had because it was nice and chilly yesterday. So I put my hoodie and my hat in the seat next to me. And then I had my popcorn and everything in the other seat next to me. And as they come in, they're like, sir, that's my seat. And I was like, ugh. So I had to put my jacket in my lap. And then I had to move my popcorn. And I'm sitting there with all this shit on my lap. I was like, I don't like this whole sold out theater things. I should have just gone this morning. But it was the first time I sat in a sold out movie theater since before COVID. It was crazy.
Yeah, I'll say when I went, we went to the AMC at Disney, and when we were checking out, because I was like, I didn't eat all day. I was like, I'm eating popcorn. But I don't know if it was a Stitch popcorn bucket or if it's just a bag looking thing, but there was some sort of Stitch thing, probably next to the top hat or something like that. And I almost got it, but it was like $50. I was like, no. But it looked kind of cool.
Popcorn buckets are expensive.
I don't understand. They're tiny. Give me the big paper bucket that fits more popcorn. I went to eat the popcorn. I don't give a shit about some bulky bucket that I'm going to eat anyway. So, but I'll say the reason we went to AMC is because the places it was playing was only playing like one or two times. So it's not. I feel like maybe this got a lot more playing time in New York because it's New York. Because we went into
even in New York, they were only at the AMC theaters.
Oh, okay. So when we went in there, I told Jen, I was like, this movie is. I mean, it was pretty crowded in there. It wasn't sold out, but it was a lot of people. And I told Jen when we were walking in, I'm like, we're gonna see one of two types of people. We're either gonna see a lot of queers or a lot of twins. And it did not disappoint. So I want to tell this. This is kind of mean. But it made me laugh, so I'm going to say it anyway. There were these two twins that were sitting in the row that I was in. They were of the larger variety of people, and so what I'm going to say is going to be about that. So I apologize to them if they're listening or their friends or family or anything like this. But there was one thing that happened that kind of made me laugh. It made me take notice, first of all, that they came in like just like 10 minutes before the things were going to start, like the previews. And so they came in and they sat down and they had like their big sodas and big popcorns and something else. Cause it's like at this AMC, you could order food and then they bring it to you. So they ordered the food and then the people brought it to them. And then, so in the 15 minutes that we sat there, now this is not fat shaming them because I have something in common with this, but in the 15 minutes right before the preview started, they had finished their soda and their popcorn and everything else. And so they got up to go get the refills. And I noticed that and I looked at Jen and I was like, refill time. And then I showed her my popcorn bucket, which was a large popcorn bucket, which was completely empty. So I also ate all of that popcorn. But what happened was when they got back and they sat in their seats, they were reclining seats. So they pressed a button to recline the seats and it just happened to be in between previews. So that poor chair was like screaming, like it sounded like a person screaming, like when Jen and I were just like, oh, that poor girl, how unfortunate. And it made me laugh because it sounded like me screaming when I have a nightmare. So anyway, that was my experience. Yeah, good times.
I can't laugh at that. It's rude.
That chair was screaming. Anyway, so we went to the movies.
Yes.
Or did you want to say something else before we get into this?
I was just going to say the movie we went and saw.
Let's do it.
Twinless. We went and saw Twinless.
Now, I don't imagine we're going to give it all away, right?
No.
Because it just came out.
Yeah, first two things. First, it just came out, so I don't want to... There's some twists to this movie that happen throughout that it's better not to know going in. Also, much like any time we've ever reviewed a movie that's freshly in the theaters, I did not have a notebook to take notes with me. So all of my notes for this movie are just what I remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, I went home and wrote some things down, but same thing. So do you want to start with Rotten Tomatoes?
Sure. I know that this premiered at one of the film festivals earlier this year. I want to say like either Venice or Sundance or something like that. And everyone was talking about this movie. So I know from a critical standpoint that it's a beloved movie. Like critics loved this movie when it was in the film festivals. So I'm gonna say it's in the 90s, so like 93, 94-ish realm.
It was 98
98. Oh,
critics,
damn.
98 critics, 96
Yeah,
audiences.
they were going off about this movie when it first played. Like they're talking Oscar nomination for Dylan O'Brien, Oscar for acting, and then they were talking about Oscar nomination for James Sweeney for the screenplay.
Yeah, and I'll here's my opinion. Just this will give you a good sense of what I thought of the movie and where it's going. We had talked earlier about a movie where someone who wrote, directed, and starred in the movie that it didn't work, right? It just wasn't good. Maybe it's because this I don't know this person, but anybody who wants to do all of those, take a note from James Sweeney because he wrote, directed, and starred in this. And
if it's the person I think you're talking about, I think it's because James Sweeney didn't go out bragging about his pet project, like, oh, this is a vanity project of mine, and I did this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this entire movie is me. It's, in fact, I didn't realize until after the movie, because he stars in it, that he also wrote and directed it.
Yeah, it wasn't until the credits said,
halfway through the movie.
Oh, wow. Isn't that insane? Do you know what?
Yeah.
And thinking back on it, brilliant. Because it just said, here's the thing. So it shows you, like, it says, this is what you think this movie is about because you watched the previews. And so this is what you think the movie is about. Bam. Okay. And now they go through like 30 minutes of that. And then all of a sudden the credits come up for the movie and they're like, now we're going to play you what the movie's really about.
30 minutes in. And I was like, because when they did the whole, blah, blah, blah presents, and I was like, wait a minute, did they not already do the credits? And then it said Twinless. And I said, oh, they did not. I've already been sitting here for almost 8 hours and they have not done the credits yet. Interesting.
Unlike the movie we watched last week where they did all of the credits before it started. Remember what I said? When they do all the credits before the movie starts, you know it's going to suck because they don't think you're going to stick around to watch the credits. This, different. They're like, we know this movie's awesome, so we're going to wait.
James Sweeney and Dylan O'Brien play Dennis and Roman, who are two strangers who meet at a support group for twins who have lost their twin. So and I looked it up. This is an actual, these are support groups because obviously if you have a twin, they have a very unique bond that most people don't have. I mean, you lived in a womb together. So when a twin dies, they have support groups for the other twin to kind of handle the unique situations that come up when something like that happens. Dennis is a gay guy who has a straight twin who died, and Roman is straight who has a gay twin who died. So they kind of become this codependent relationship where Dennis becomes the gay twin again, and Roman becomes the straight twin again. And they build a relationship, not like a friendship, and they go grocery shopping together. They eat out. Dennis throughout the film has a very weird demeanor about him. There's something off about him. And we're not going to go into because that feeds into kind of part of the surprise of the movie.
So does Roman.
He's very creepy and very stalkery. Roman has anger issues.
Yes, severe anger issues.
But Dennis is like almost stalkery, creepy guy. So there's something tied into the way that they both act that ties into the secret in this movie.
Had you seen James Sweeney in anything before this?
No, this is only his second movie.
But he was in some TV shows, I think. I've never seen it. I looked it up, but I feel
his filmography, and the only thing that I saw listed was the two movies. This and the first movie did Straight Up. But he looks very familiar.
He has a familiar looking face, but I've never seen him in anything. But I'm going to watch everything that he's done because I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Let me see. I
He
think
kind of looks like, speaking of twins, the twins who, Zach and Cody, he kind of looks like a Zach and Cody twin from the Disney show.
Oh, he does look like Zach and
Yeah.
Cody. Yeah. Oh, I guess he's been the writer of a bunch of stuff. That's what it is. He's just been the writer. I think he's phenomenal. I just
Yeah.
cannot say enough
I
about.
love Dylan O'Brien. He was in Teen Wolf back on MTV. He was in the Maze Runner movies.
He was in a movie. I mean, my kind of movie. He was in a movie called American Assassin, which is really good. Let me just tell you, I have always thought he was adorable and in love with him. And there's a scene in this movie that fulfilled all of my fantasies.
He has 2 scenes where he gets naked and has sex. And you don't get to see the front bits, but the cake, very nice.
The back,
lovely cake.
Okay, probably better than my chocolate almond croissant coffee cake.
Yes, I would much rather eat this cake.
A couple of other people in this: Lauren Graham, who is the Gilmore mom.
Gilmore Girls, yeah.
She was also in Parenthood. Which, by the way, if you haven't watched Parenthood, you have done yourself a disservice in this life. The whole series is phenomenal. It's a great series. So she's in that. She always plays like this mom that's kind of, a chaotic. Like
chaos,
like always has like life is a problem. And she isn't that way in Parenthood too, but she's really great. It's a great show. And then it also has Chris, is it Perdetti, who is the gay teacher in Abbott Elementary?
Oh yeah, Chris Perfetti.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I must have typed the wrong letter. He's great. I like everything that he's in. I hope that like when they start making movies that are all about gay people, you know how they did that with like Jim Parsons and like the usual gay suspects are all in that Normal Heart movie and stuff like that. I hope that he gets to be part of that cool kids club because I think he's a good actor.
And his role in this, every time he shows up on screen, I got very tense.
Very tense. I gotta tell you, it's even the story is built incredibly. And so I just spent like the last half of the movie just waiting for something horrible to happen. And I'm gonna liken it to something, and I'm gonna do my best to not give anything away. Because I know we don't want to say what any twist is or anything like that. I just want to say that I got major Dear Evan Hansen vibes from this show. Like somebody is like, it's sort of this like thing where nobody knows something and you're just like, they're all going to find out. And when they all find out, everything's going to fall apart. And you just have that tension the whole time. And you just want, they do a really good job too at making you see every side of a story. I just thought it was really well done.
I wrote that down because even Dennis, like I said, he's like this horrible, creepy person in the movie. I still loved him in the movie and I wanted him to succeed and be happy. And maybe there's some things he went about that the way that he shouldn't have. But through the whole movie, I kept thinking, I hope things turn out well for him.
Right. I mean, me too. And you know what I kept thinking too? If I was still drinking, I would have dated him. That was, that's the kind of person I would date.
Okay.
Something a little off, something a little needy.
Yeah. To further complicate things, there's another character, Marcy, who's played by Aisling Francesui. I think it's French. But Marcy is a coworker of Dennis, so she's known Dennis for a while, and then she meets Roman and starts dating Roman, and she's the voice of something's not right here, and kind of starts to break down everything.
Did you ever watch Glee?
The first season. I started on the second season, and then the show just got so obnoxious.
Yeah,
that
she reminds me of the guidance counselor. Yeah. But she's like, but what I do like that they did with her is she seemed very two-dimensional at first, but then as you saw her more, you started to see that she actually had layers. And I thought it was really, really interesting. And I mean, the position she was even put in. I mean, even then I got concerned for her life. It's like I'm
This
like, she's
this
gonna
movie
die.
has a vibe on it. I don't know if it's just the vibe that they make with the movie or just that's the kind of movies I've just watched a lot of. But yeah, I kept waiting for someone to die.
Yeah,
Like, I was like, someone's gonna die.
Someone's gonna die.
I don't
Yeah.
know which one yet, but one of these people
I don't know.
tonight
I don't know
will
which
die.
of these two leads is going to be the murderous one,
Yeah.
but somebody's going to kill somebody.
Because they
And
both gives vibes that you could
Yeah.
kill someone. I
Yeah.
could see it.
I could see it happening.
They could be on the news and say, today Dennis and Roman killed people, and I'd be like, yeah, I could see it.
Yeah. And again, without giving anything away, there is a scene where there's the big tell, like the big thing happens. And I just thought that's where it switched for me, where it was no longer like somebody's going to die. And it was more like, oh, I really want the best for everyone involved in this. And I
just
like,
want
it was
everyone
just an
to get
emotional,
along.
It was emotional. It was like really
Why
like,
can't everyone just be friends?
it was like a breakdown, sort of like in Dear and Hansen when the big thing is revealed and you're just kind of like, oh, you're so bad, but I just want such good things for you. Just really well done. Yeah, the what was I gonna say? Oh, I guess I did say it. I don't know. I just the gist of the story though, or like the overall picture, I thought was phenomenal. I think it is
up
a
and down. Everything
5
was
grapes. Everything. This is one
I
of
agree.
those that
I
you
agree.
should go see. It's like one of these things that's like, it doesn't have to be a story about gay people. You know what I mean? Like, it just happens to be. And I think that's really cool. I like it when movies are like that. Like, him being gay isn't the plot. There's no gay trauma. It's just they have their own trauma, but it's based
him
in
being
different
gay
things.
is the setup for some of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah. Here's what I was gonna say. They do show the scene where the twin dies. And
they do.
I was not ready for that. I did not know that's how it was going to go down. And I was the only person in the theater who screamed. I screamed. I was like, oh my God. My knees went to my chest and I looked at Jen and she's like, are you okay? And no one else reacted but me.
At the end of the movie, did someone turn around and say that you ruined the movie for them?
No, because I stood up and I said, this was such an incredible experience for me. Anyway, I loved it.
Great movie. Yeah, absolutely agree. 5 grapes across the board. I will be shocked if there aren't a couple of Oscar, Golden Globe, Critic Choice nominations when this.
Oh,
when
I
it
want
comes
to
around.
point this out too. What's endearing about the show is that Dennis, is that his? No, Roman.
Roman is the Dennis, Dylan O'Brien's character.
Roman is not smart, and
he's not book smart.
It's
he's
adorable. It is adorable. Like
there is this one scene that when they're in the grocery store,
yes.
And he says something not smart. And then Dennis laughs.
Well, I'll tell you what it is.
He
says they're walking by lemon. He's going to buy a lemon, and he goes, "How do you know if the lemon is ripe?" And the guy said, as a joke, he's like, "If the more yellow they are, the riper they are. If they're not ripe, they're green." And it was limes. And so Roman said, "Well, why did they have so many unripe ones then?" And he goes, "Those are limes," and then laughs
at him. So Dennis goes up to him and he says, "Listen, I'm not smart, but if I say something wrong, just tell me. Don't laugh at me." And it's just like he's just matter of fact about it. And I was sitting in there, I was thinking, he's right. Just say it to him. Don't be a dick about it.
Yeah, but you
especially
can tell
later on in the movie when we find out that you're kind of a creeper. You should be a nicer person.
Yeah, and
Dennis.
The thing is that Dennis is probably just a sarcastic smartass. He's like the Chandler of any room he's in, the Chandler being. And so he just makes jokes about everything. And he doesn't realize. Like he made a joke. Oh, this is adorable too. Apparently, Roman is from Moscow, Idaho, or something, and so he says when they first meet, he's like, "Where are you from?" And he's like, "Moscow," and he's like, "Idaho," and he goes, "Do you know of any other one?" And he's like, "Moscow," and he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, no. So you can tell right off the bat, Roman's not book smart.
Yeah. And Dennis is very much a smartass.
Yeah.
So, and it's very cute the way that they address it and kind of adjust that in their friendship.
Yeah,
Great
and it's
movie.
not a
Just
it's
all
not
around. It's a great movie.
a lot of dark humor, and that's
Mhm,
kind of my
mhm.
shtick. I kind of love it. I just I will watch this movie again. I thought it was really great, and I wish that when I was a kid growing up, or at least in my 20s, even that there were movies like this out there that I could go see, because it just I mean, it's just really great. Like that's a very I would, and I'm not going to describe it as graphic because I would never describe a sex scene in a heterosexual relationship in a movie as graphic. I'll just say it's very realistic, and you don't see that a lot in movies that play in a screen, in mass, and I really appreciate that because it's normal and it should be normalized, and so I think they did a great job. I
Yeah,
really
I
hope.
mean, gay or straight, I think that there's this handling of sex scenes in Hollywood where it's all done very close-ups and with, romantic music and kind of Vaseline on the screen, close up of the hips touching. And this is just the camera is very just static, pointed at the bed, letting them do their thing.
Yeah, and they're
You don't
talking.
see
They're talking
don't
the
see
whole
the
time
full
about other things.
Yeah, and you don't see the full frontal and everything, but you do see the act. And it's very handled in. They're just having sex, and we're gonna watch them have sex. And you all are gonna be very mature about it. You're not gonna snicker, you're just gonna watch. And it
Yeah,
was nice. It was
it was
good.
good.
And can I say, nice ass. Dylan O'Brien
Yeah.
has a really nice ass.
And after a couple of weeks of like really shitty things that we had to watch, it was so good to see something
Mhm.
really good. And I have hope for the future too, because there's I keep seeing things like there's a couple of movies coming out over the next couple of
There was a
weeks.
trailer on this movie. What was the name of it? It was a gay themed movie, and it looked really good. Now I
Yeah.
can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think that comes out like in October or something. I think
No,
that
this
was-
one comes out, I think,
Oh.
next week that I saw.
There's another movie coming. I'm sorry, we should research shit more so we can actually give you the information. But there's another movie. The guy that was in the other one with Andrew Scott that got a lot of acclaim. He's in a movie that's coming out this month.
Yeah, that's the trailer I saw.
right.
Andrew Scott?
Yeah, it's
Is
the
that his
other
name?
guy. It's the guy that
And,
was in the Gladiator.
Pescal.
The guy in Gladiator 2. He's in a gay movie that's coming out. I want to say You Got Mail, but I know that's not it. Maybe it's You Got Mail,
his last name's
MALE.
His last name is Pescal.
What's that one? That's coming
Paul
out soon.
Pescal.
Hold please while we look this up.
Do 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 do.
No, I'm pulling up Paul Pelosi. Nope, that's not him. I think this is going to be all you.
The Story of Sound.
There you go.
September 12th.
Yeah,
It comes
You
out on
Got Mail.
Friday.
That sounds just like it. It
So,
comes
yeah,
out this Friday?
This Friday. The Story of Sound.
Oh, should we cover that?
We shall.
Are you
If
sad
you
that
can
you're
find
not?
it. It's a movie, so it'll be here. I don't know if it'll be where you're at.
Are you
It's
sad?
from the same studio that made The Substance with Demi Moore.
Oh, yeah. Are you sad that you're not in town? I'm going to see Nosferatu on Saturday.
Oh, no, I'm not sad.
Do you know though that they it's weird this time because there's a dress code.
Oh,
You have to wear all black.
they're gonna. Did they get that from the Phantom of the Opera here? The new Phantom of the Opera they have here, that where you walk through the opera house, you have to wear black, white, or silver, and you have to wear a mask.
I will not be seeing that. Is it stripped down too, like Sunset Boulevard was. Are they doing this to all
No.
of his shows?
No, you walk through. They have it set up. It's like Nosferatu, where you walk through, and it's the entire interior of the building is set up like an opera house, and you go to the various parts of the opera house, and they perform around you.
Huh.
Yeah, it's getting amazing reviews.
Wow.
But the part in the thing where "Wishing You Were Somehow Here with Me," where she sings in the snow, they sing it on the roof of the theater. And people, you can watch, if you're step back far enough, you can see the Phantom on the roof singing. Because they utilize the entire building. It's like $300 a ticket, but I really want to go.
Huh.
But you have to dress up for that one. So, yep. So dress codes in the theater now. They tell you what you'll wear because you're now part of the show.
It's not like when I used to live there and I used to be able to walk in and wear t-shirt and shorts. I don't know that I'm going to be able to see the stories now, but we'll figure it out. We don't need to talk about it on here. Yeah. We'll take this offline.
Yes, let's head offline.
I guess I'll have to come up to New York and see it.
Okay. Or I'll Facebook Live it from the theater.
They love that.
I'm just kidding. Don't come find me this week when I'm at the theater. But yeah, so we'll be back next week. And until then, the cork is back in the bottle.